Hello, Grace Church and St. Martin's kids. It's Mrs. Ash again, ready for another miracle of Jesus in our miracle series that we are doing right now. I hope you enjoyed the little break with the Valentine's lesson from Miss Danielle last week. This week we are back to the miracles, and it is a Lego Sunday. So get out all your Legos, pause the video if you need to. Get out your Legos and get ready to build as I read the story. Okay, so build whatever comes to your mind as we are reading this story. I think I sent you guys maybe another bag with another person in it or something that you could use for the story. Uh, but like I said, whatever Legos you have, get them out and get ready to build, and we'll see what you build as you listen to this story. Our story today is about the miracle of Jesus walking on water. That's a pretty amazing thing to do. This story appears in three of the Gospels, in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 14, in the Gospel of Mark in chapter 6, and in the Gospel of John in chapter 6. But Matthew is the only one where you hear about Peter trying it out for himself and coming out to meet Jesus. So we're going to listen to a telling of that version. And again, I'm going to use the one from my Spark Bible because it's kind of a fun version of it. So here we go. Get ready to build while I read. Walking on water. The disciples were just waking up on their boat. They had been out on the water all night. Yawn, stretch. It was so early the sun wasn't even up yet. Andrew rubbed his eyes and looked out into the fog. Hey, he whispered. Do you see what I see? Ooh, it's a ghost, James cried out in fear. The disciples were shaking in their sandals. They were terrified. Through the fog, they could see the outline of a person walking on the water. It was Jesus. Don't be afraid, it's just me, Jesus said. He waved a friendly hello. If it's really you, Jesus, tell me to walk out on the water, Peter said bravely. Okay, Jesus shrugged. Come on out, Peter. The water is fine. Gulp. Peter swallowed hard. He placed one foot onto the water. Try it. Let's see what happens to Peter. Plop! It didn't go under. He tried the other foot. Plop! He was standing. He kept his eyes glued on Jesus as he took a few careful steps. He walked faster and faster. Splash! Splash! Only his feet were getting wet. Jesus smiled at him. Peter felt the wind blowing on his face. He took his eyes off Jesus and looked up at the dark clouds. He felt afraid. Uh-oh. His ankles were wet. Uh-oh. His knees were wet. Uh-oh. Peter was sinking. Help me, Jesus. Save me, he yelled. Jesus reached out his hand and pulled Peter out of the sea. Why did you stop looking at me? Jesus asked, holding tightly to his friend. Don't you trust me? The wind stopped. They climbed into the boat full of cheering disciples. Hooray, this proves it, they said. You really are the Son of God. From that day on, the disciples were excited to tell everyone they met about the power of Jesus. Okay. So while you continue building, I'm going to ask you our wondering questions about the story. I wonder where you go to pray or could go to pray. One of the reasons that Jesus had not been in the boat with the disciples at that moment, at the beginning of the story, is he'd gone off by himself to pray. I wonder what you like to do when you are alone. I wonder if you have ever been on rough seas. I wonder if you have ever been close to a miracle. I wonder if something has happened and you couldn't believe what you were seeing. I'm sure the disciples had a hard time believing their eyes when they saw Jesus walking on water like that. I wonder what it is like to follow Jesus. I wonder what it felt like to step out of the boat and onto the water. I wonder if you trust God. I wonder if we can doubt and trust at the same time. I kind of think Peter did a little of that in the story, didn't he? He trusted Jesus, but then he doubted what it was he was doing. I wonder how you would like to worship God. I hope you get the chance to talk about those questions with your families and to think about the story. And I hope if you get a chance, you send me a picture of what you built. Maybe you built a boat or a wave or somebody walking on water. Let's close our lesson with a prayer. Lift us up, O God, and make us strong. Encourage us when we doubt and help us up when we fall. Remind us that if we keep our eyes on you, we will know more peace. Amen. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.